The dates for the big battle for Bihar have been announced. It is going to be a two-phase poll on the 6th and the 11th of November, and counting is going to be on the 14th. This is the first time that it is going to be a two-phased poll in Bihar. Last time it was 3 phases. The time before that it was 5 phases. This time it's a straight-up fight between the incumbent NDA under Nitish Kumar taking on the Mahagathbandhan under Tejashwi Yadav. But there is also an X factor in the form of a new entrant, the Jan Suraj of election strategist turned politician Prashant Kishore. Which way will the Bihar cookie crumble? Who will be the new Jan Nayak of Bihar? Will it be the old war horse Nitish Kumar, or will it be the dawn of a new beginning, the rise of a new sun in Bihar? We will try and find out all of that through the course of the next 15 minutes, but I want to first play out the reactions that have come in. First, of course, the Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar announcing the dates, and then the political parties, various political parties responding to the dates announcement.
बिहार के चुनाव 2 फेजेस में होंगे. डेट ऑफ पोल 6 नवंबर थर्सडे और दूसरा 11 नवंबर ट्यूसडे. काउंटिंग 14 नवंबर को होगी. बिहार के मतदाताओं की संख्या आपको जान करके अचरज होगा कि उससे बड़े मतदाताओं की संख्या दुनिया के सिर्फ 10 या 11 देशों में ही है. बिहार के चुनाव आयोग मानता है कि मदर ऑफ ऑल इलेक्शंस है, और इसीलिए हर लेवल पर, हर स्तर पर चुनावी कर्मियों की तैनाती है. कुल मिलाकर 8.5 लाख चुनावी कर्मी बिहार विधानसभा के आम चुनाव 2025 में रहेंगे. 8,000 माइक्रो ऑब्जर्वर्स फॉर काउंटिंग 4,800, काउंटिंग ऑफिशियल लगभग 28,000, पुलिस ऑफिशियल 2.5 लाख. बिहार के दौरे पर चुनाव आयोग ने जिला मजिस्ट्रेट्स को, सुपरिंटेंडेंट्स ऑफ पुलिस को और सभी एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज को सख्त निर्देश दिए हैं. Zero tolerance to any violence.
So what are going to be the key X factors as far as the Bihar election 2025 is concerned? A key determining factor for the election this time around has been the Special Intensive Revision Exercise, or the SIR exercise, which the Election Commission undertook. So before this exercise happened, the initial draft of electors, there were 7.89, almost 7.9 crore voters in the state of Bihar. This was the list that was published back in June. After the SIR exercise happened, 65 lakh names were either absent, they had passed away or were not present at the given address, or they had shifted, or like I said, had been deceased. So 65 lakh voters' names had been deleted or had been removed from the overall list of 7.89 crores. That led to the first draft list, which was 7.24 crore voters, to which another 21 lakh got added because there were new voters, the first-time voters, which are about 14 lakh, is what the Chief Election Commissioner today said. In addition to the new voters, there are also those voters who challenged their deletion of their names and their family members' names from the initial draft rolls, and then subsequently those names got added as well. So another 21 lakh names got added, as a result of which today the total elector count, the total voter count in Bihar is 7.42. So that is the number of people who will be taking part in the exercise. So you have 21.53 lakh voters who are eligible who have been added. Out of that 21, 14 lakh are first-time voters. Another 7 lakh plus are those voters whose names were struck off, and they are now being brought back after they successfully challenged it before the Election Commission. There are another 3.66 lakh, in addition to the 65 lakh who were initially removed, another 3.66 lakh who were also found to be ineligible. Those voters' names have been removed. So in all, about 69, almost 69 lakh voters' names were removed, either because they had passed away or their addresses had changed or they had double voter ID cards. So 69, but with the addition of 21.53, the overall net reduction has been to the tune of about 48 lakh voters. So this is one X factor, the SIR. I will explain on the magic wall as well on which are the constituencies which are likely to get affected because of the SIR exercise. But there is also another X factor, which is something that we cannot plot based on previous data, based on historic election data in Bihar, because we don't have any reference to this new political party. A new political party is in the fray now, that of Prashant Kishore. His party is called the Jan Suraj. They seem to be making the headlines. He's been on a Bihar Yatra for a number of months now. Will he be an X factor or will he be a damp squib? Now, remember, he has proven himself as a grassroots election organizer, election strategist. That is something that he has going for him. But he has never been a full-fledged politician. He's always been a backroom boy, a strategist behind the scenes. He's never actually put himself out there, put himself on a ticket and got other people to fight on his political party's ticket. So that's a completely new experience for him. Number two, he's articulate, he speaks very well, he has a clean, non-corrupt image about him, and he's a non-dynast. He doesn't have a famous surname, he's a complete outsider. He's come from the outside to what he says to clean up Bihar's politics. What does not work for him is no one quite knows what his ideology is. He says he's opposed to both NDA and the Mahagathbandhan, but then if push comes to shove, who will he align with? There's also political opportunism, because at the end of the day, even if he were not to win any seats, if he were to make some dent in terms of vote share, who will that benefit? That again is a critical question. He's also a symbol of merit-based politics in a state which is clearly, reservation is such a hot-button issue as far as Bihar is concerned. He, of course, stands in a stark contrast, underlining merit-based politics. Also, what doesn't work, he's got a new party, he doesn't have any organizational strength, and of course, the depth of him being able to get a ground game going, we don't know that. We don't know how much he'll be able to get the voters out. There's also, he could harness some anger, particularly among young men, about the joblessness situation. That is a critical concern. Bihar has one of the largest populations of migrant labor who go out of the state in search of work. That is something that he has been talking about. He's also been talking about corruption, allegedly by senior leaders in the incumbent government. Again, what kind of resonance that has with the people, we'll have to wait and see. And of course, because him being a new party, there are resource constraints. He's not established. Of course, his rivals are much more formidably established than he is. And of course, he offers an alternative, a third pole, if you will, to this oscillating sort of BJP versus RJD battles has been going on for the better part of the last 10 plus years in Bihar. There are some voters who are skeptical about this parachuting of leaders. Remember, he does not have a background of doing active politics in Bihar. There's also this feeling that he's been parachuted from Delhi to benefit who, we don't know, but this is again a feeling that there exists. But I want to play out some more reactions of political players in Bihar reacting to the dates announcement, and then we'll also go across to the magic wall, and we have some special guests joining us as well.
जो तारीख जो 14 नवंबर का जो तारीख होगा, यानी बिहार के लोग बदलाव चाहते हैं। बिहार के लोग जो हैं इस बार महागठबंधन की सरकार चाहते हैं। जो 20 साल से इन लोगों ने अपराध, भ्रष्टाचार, अफसरशाही, तानाशाही, घोटालेबाजी, जिस हिसाब से इन लोगों ने बिहार की सरकार ने जो दिया है, बिहार के लोग जो है त्रस्त हो चुके हैं, परेशान हो चुके हैं और मुख्यमंत्री अचेत अवस्था में।
राहुल गांधी और लालू यादव के युवराज, इन दोनों को समझ में नहीं आया। चौबे गए, छब्बे बनने, दुब्बे बन के लौट आए। ये बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्या को बचाने के लिए राज्य भर और देश भर में भ्रम फैलाया। 89 लाख मतदाता काटने का इन्होंने भेज दिया और एक भी ऑथेंटिक सुझाव नहीं दिया। ये हीट एंड रन और फिर माफी मांगो, यही है।
So I want to bring you up to speed with two critical factors. One, the various phases. There are two phases now that have been decided by the Election Commission on the 6th and in the 11th. And they've divided it roughly equal. 121 seats in the first phase, 122 seats in the second phase. But which are the regions that are going to polls? This is very different from 2020 when there were three phases. Those three phases were geographically designed at that time. It was the southern part that went first, then the western part, and then finally the Simanchal or the eastern part. This time around, what the Election Commission has done is they've done it slightly differently. Phase 1, which goes on the 6th, this is the central part of Bihar. This is Patna included, which of course is the capital, the Magad region, parts of the Bhojpur region, some parts of southern Mithilanchal have been added as well, and of course a large part of the central part of Bihar. Now this, in 2020, it was evenly split between the Mahagathbandhan and the NDA, largely because the Mahagathbandhan got a bunch of seats in what used to be the erstwhile Naxal belt, as it were, in places like Buxar, Jahanabad, Aurangabad, etc. Also, these are parts that sort of border Jharkhand. So it was 61 to the Gathbandhan and 59 to the NDA. There was a roughly 1.5% or so, a little over 1.5% vote share difference between the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan. So this was a phase which the Mahagathbandhan had won. Remember, it was a three-phase election in 2020. The election turned at the end of phase 1, starting of phase 2 and phase 3. That's where the election turned. And then you have phase 2, which again, this time around, again is interesting because it's got a whole bunch of these border seats. So Mithilanchal, the Champaran seats, and then the Mithilanchal seats. All of these, this is the border with Nepal, so it's a porous border. It could have an impact on these border seats. And then you have the border seats on the eastern side in the Simanchal region. This is Araria, Purnia, Katihar. These are seats, of course, which have a high minority population. These are also seats which have seen an impact of the SIR exercise as well. And then, of course, you have the entire southern Bihar belt as well. So it's almost like a horseshoe shaped, the second set, which is 122 seats. This is the phase where the NDA did exceptionally well last time around. It was a close election, but the NDA got 66 out of 122 last time around. The Gathbandhan got just 49, and the vote share also has completely flipped. It's the NDA with 38% vote share and the Mahagathbandhan with just 36. So it was a 2% vote share difference between the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan. And this was the phase that sort of really did it for the BJP and for the NDA. The seats up in the north of the Ganga, the Mithilanchal belt, some parts of the Simanchal belt, and of course in the south, where the Mahagathbandhan seems to have done better in Bihar. So this is how it will play out in terms of phases this time around, both in the north and in the south. How may that impact the entire election exercise itself, and how may that impact eventually the result of the election? I want to go across to a quick face-off. Mr. R.P. Singh is national spokesperson of the BJP. Is joining us. Mahima Singh is spokesperson of the Congress. Thank you very much for joining us. Mr. R.P. Singh, I just laid that out for our viewers. The opposition is saying SIR is the biggest issue. They are saying that their names have been deleted. A large number of women, particularly minorities, their names have been deleted. And they are saying that they are making this vote chori as the number one issue in the election. Your response?
Well, Zaka, if that was the issue, the vote chori was the issue, then why did Mr. Tejasvi Yadav started a second yatra? Because he knew that vote chori is not sticking on. I mean, they have tried their best. Both brothers have tried their best. The fabricated agenda of Rahul Gandhi, he's tried his best. But let's understand, 68 lakhs voters have been deleted. No one has raised a question. I mean, they could have gone to the court. They tried their best in the court. The court gives them right, appropriate answer. Now 21 lakh vote has been added, put together some 47 lakh vote have been deleted, put all together.
Yeah.
So this is the process. And if anyone has to challenge, there was a time which was given to everyone to challenge that, but no one challenged that. And they wanted people who were dead, people who are not resident of Bihar, or people who are shifted from Bihar. They want to do a fake vote on their behalf. I mean, that's how long back.
No, but yesterday the Chief Election Commissioner was in Patna and he was asked this question: how many illegal immigrants did you remove? And he refused to give a number, but he said the electoral rolls have now become pure. Those are the words that he used.
Well, given to me, I'm not above election commission. I won't have the number. But fact is, there are people who are the illegal immigrants who have been removed in the process. But fact is, people have been removed. No one has challenged that, or people have not come. I mean, as earlier they have tried to put up a theatric that there are people who are dead and their vote has been deleted.
Okay.
People who are alive, their vote has been deleted. But fact is that there is no hue and cry in Bihar today. Bihar
so let me ask
give me a second. Give me another 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Bihar is looking forward for that 10,000 rupees which they have got, a woman, 10,000 rupees, women have got, more than 1 crore women going to get 10,000 rupees, and probably they would have got in their accounts. And now, how do they ensure that they use this money for development of Bihar and their personal development? And also,
Okay.
that after they've done the job, they'll get another 2 lakh rupees.
Let me bring in Mahima Singh. You're making much of an issue of SIR. Maybe you think that there is electoral resonance for it, but look at the cold numbers, Mahima Singh. The numbers that were released by the Election Commission in the first draft rolls were about 7.89 crores. After which, in the first set of SIR, the deletions that happened was 65 lakh. In the revised one, another 3 lakh odd were also deleted. So that takes it up to about 68 lakhs and a half. But there were 21 lakh that were added as well, of which 14 lakh are new voters and about 7 lakh who contested and got their names back in the final rolls. So net, only about 48 lakh names have been deleted, either because those people have passed on, or they have moved out of Bihar, or they have duplicate sort of 2 voter ID cards or 2 Aadhaar cards. Now, the point is that 48 lakh is just barely 5 or 6% of the electorate. Have you, wrongfully taken an issue which doesn't have widespread resonance across the length and breadth of Bihar, or at least to a large majority of the electorate?
Jai Hind. Zaka, first of all, before coming to your question, I would like to remind the BJP spokesperson that we are the Mahagathbandhan, not the NDA, where the region doesn't matter, where the federalism doesn't matter. He has a great issue with Tejasvi Yadav going out and carrying out his yatra. Unlike Mr. Modi not allowing Mr. Nitish Kumar to have an independent campaign.
Tejasvi Yadav, your next CM candidate.
And please observe some discipline. Please observe. You're so senior. Why don't you observe some discipline? Now, we are the Mahagathbandhan, and in the Mahagathbandhan,
is Tejasvi Yadav your CM candidate or not?
I'll ask her that, but I'll ask her that, sir. Let her respond. No, but answer my question, ma'am. Answer my question about SIR, please. Please.
We know how rattled the BJP, and I'm thankful to the BJP spokesperson for giving us a live demo of that right now. Now, let me just say, Zaka, you are saying 48 lakhs only. I must tell you, please go and have a dialogue with the experts, and you will find out that this 6% shrinkage of voter lists in Bihar is unprecedented, is historical in an unceremonious way. It is unprecedented that voter lists in Bihar ever shrank by 6%. Now, this press conference, Zaka, the sham of a press conference that happened today and also yesterday, you have already mentioned about that question. The very timing of this press conference is questionable after bribing 75 lakh plus 21 lakh women of Bihar, after direct transfers of 10,000 minutes before this press conference today, after making announcements for the youth of 1,000 rupees, for all graduates per month. The election commissioner, chief election commissioner, comes out and holds a press conference. And where in this press conference, the chief election commissioner, Mr. Ganesh Gupta, cut out a very sorry figure, Zaka, I must say, when he made his, a failed attempt, a very frivolous attempt at a vernacular appeal to Biharis, when the Biharis know very well the Supreme Court had to come to their rescue, when their very right to vote had been put under threat by the very authority.
So, ma'am, as far as the giving doles or cash sops to women, I mean, your government in Karnataka has done that. Your government in Telangana has done that as well. I'm sure we'll have enough opportunities to talk about that in the run-up to the elections. I don't know. I do. No. One second. I do want to ask you, ma'am. I do want to ask you a specific question. Because today, right after the dates were announced, ma'am, one second. Hear my question, please. Hear my question.
You have drawn a parallel. Please allow me a few seconds.
Hear my question, please. My question is not on that. My question is, right after the dates were announced today, Mr. Tejasvi Yadav gave a bite to ANI. I hope we can play that. I don't know if we have that. If we have that, we should play that. Where basically he said, "Chunav mere aur Nitish Kumar ke khilaf hai." As in, like, it's the fight is between me and Nitish Kumar. He's basically saying he's the chief minister in waiting as far as the Gathbandhan is concerned. Is he? If he is, then please say so. If he's not, then please say so. I think the people of Bihar deserve to know.
I think your debate today, Zaka, is focused on this press conference, on the SIR issue, on the announcement of the dates. We will come to the chief ministerial announcements also. But since you drew a parallel between Congress ruled states and Bihar, let me ask you a question. Zaka, as a very senior veteran journalist, I want to ask you, when in the history do you remember that direct cash transfers were done to women or stakeholders by a Congress-led government or a UPA government minutes before the announcement of an election was done by the Chief Election Commissioner? When did you see an Election Commission of India and a government so much hand in glove that nothing was left for imagination, really?
Okay. Well, Congress
I mean,
has usually promised it, and then after the election, whether they've been able to keep or not
direct
keep.
transfers,
Anyway,
direct.
no, the
Don't
Griha
you
Lakshmi
deny
scheme
direct
that you announced
transfers
in
for
Karnataka
10,000?
was the apparently the game changer, right? The giving 2,500 to women. Anyway, I want to play out
In
that bite.
Delhi,
I believe
they're
I
not
believe I
still giving
believe that I
elections.
believe that
But
soundbite
in
is
Delhi, the
ready,
women are still
so
waiting in vain.
we can play that soundbite out. This is Tejashwi Yadav. Let's play that out.
जो तारीख जो 14 नवंबर का जो तारीख होगा, यानी बिहार के लोग बदलाव चाहते हैं। बिहार के लोग जो हैं इस बार महागठबंधन की सरकार चाहते हैं। जो 20 साल से इन लोगों ने अपराध, भ्रष्टाचार, अफसरशाही, तानाशाही, घोटालेबाजी, जिस हिसाब से इन लोगों ने बिहार की सरकार ने जो दिया है, बिहार के लोग जो है त्रस्त हो चुके हैं, परेशान हो चुके हैं और मुख्यमंत्री अचेत अवस्था में। और इस बार सब लोग चाह रहे हैं कि महागठबंधन की सरकार बने।
Right, and the latter part of it, which we couldn't play out, is that Tejashwi Yadav Mukhyamantri bane. So again, I come down to that. I mean, the people of Bihar deserve to know, right? RP Singh. I mean, your candidate is Mr. Nitish Kumar. Last election, you did not declare that, even though he was the sitting chief minister. But this election, I think it's fairly clear that it is Mr. Nitish Kumar who is the chief minister. Whereas the Congress, I'm not sure why, but I don't see any other leader tall enough other than Tejashwi Yadav in the Mahagarbandhan who can be declared as the opposition face.
Well, Zaka is very clear. There is a tug of war between the seat to be allotted to Congress or seat Congress will be contesting. Last time they probably have been told contested 70 seats and won only 19. So their stacking rate was very bad. And then RJD probably don't want to repeat that because RJD thinks that giving more seats to Congress or giving them a seat which they are not going to win, I mean, there's a tug of war going on. So let's understand, this will continue because there's no clarity of leadership also between the RJD and the Congress. But fact is, let's see how Bihar has changed. It's not only that 10,000 rupees, it's not a bribery or some dole. It's basically bringing entrepreneurship to women folk in Bihar. And it's not the first time Mr. Nitish Kumar has done so.
But RP Singh Saab, surely you had 5 years to introduce it. Why introduce it on the eve of elections?
Allow me to complete. Let me give you a track record with Nitish Kumar. He gave bicycles long back. And because of that, students who studied at mothers now, they are going to vote for Nitish Kumar. Or he gave 50% reservation in Panchayat. First one to do in the country. 30% reservation in the police jobs. So he has been ongoing and even in the higher education. I mean, he has been ongoingly catering to the women folk in Bihar. He knows that enabling women will enable Bihar and economically also enabling women will enable Bihar. But that's not the all. I mean, more than 87 farmers are getting the yearly Kisan Samman Nidhi. More than 1.6 crore houses have got the tap water at their doorstep. More than 3 crore 52 lakh people have got Ayushman Bharat. There is lot which has been done. I have a complete list of some 100 things which have been done.
No, so I get that. So Mahima Singh, RP Singh making the case that, look, you can't look at this announcement of this cash swap or financial help to women as something in isolation. Nitish Kumar has been cultivating the women vote bank, and the women vote bank has been a solidly loyal vote bank to him over the last 20 years that he's been chief minister in Bihar. So he says you can't just look at it as something that's been done on the eve of elections because this is something that he has cultivated over a period of time.
Zaka, certainly first horse trading, then vote chori, then vote bribery, now charity for the youth because they've failed to create enough employment. Why enough? employment at all is, of course, straight out of the BJP's playbook, which has been adopted by the entire NDA camp also.
Okay.
But I must, he was talking about the track record of the Nitish Kumar-led NDA government in Bihar. We must surely, to start with, ask about the CAG scam. 70,000 crores embezzled over the last 10 years. The CAG report talks about no records of those 70,000 crores, which is the taxpayers' money, which
Okay.
the Bihar women, youth, elderly, all the voters of Bihar need to know where has this 70,000 crores gone. And this is just to start with. Your show is limited today, and we can have a detailed discussion
Okay.
about the rest of the track record
We'll
another
have
better
that in the course of the next month as we count down to the elections. For the moment, thank you very much, RP Singh and Mama Singh, for joining us. Let's see how this plays out in the heartland of Bihar, and whether or not the voters repose their faith in Nitish Kumar and this continuing NDA arrangement, or do they opt for a change? Will the 2025 election be an election of change? Now,